मजा आ रहा है ना? बहुत मजा आ रहा है ना? You have 4 months left to give both CUET and IPMAT. Have you thought of how to do that? Have you figured it out? If you haven't, here's the video for you. Now, before we get into the paper pattern or the exam preparation strategy, let's try not to be like Ajay Devgan riding on 2 bikes at the same time. Because if those 2 bikes separate, then... So, let's first understand where do these exams take you. Okay, let's talk about IPMATs first. IPMAT gets you into an IM, gives you the IM tag, and it starts off with a 3-year bachelor's course, which could be a BBA, a BA Foundations in Management from IM Indore, for example, or even a specialized BSQFE degree from IM Amritsar. But generally, it's a BBA followed by a 2-year IM experience for the MBA program. Now, speaking of IMs that offer an IPM course, there's IM Indore, Ranchi, Rohtak, Jammu and Bodh Gaya unlocked through their JIPMAT exam, as well as Shillong and Amritsar. The IPMAT Indore score also gets you into some of the top non-IM institutes. Think about Nalsar, Tapmi, Nirma and IFT. Now, CUET on the other hand gets you into some of the top DU colleges like Hindu, Hansraj, LSR, SRCC, Stephens, so on and so forth, or other universities like JNU and PHU. Some of the best courses offered by these universities are BBA, BA, BFIA, BMS, BCom and BSc. Think of the exams as this orange. We've taken off the first layer, we've peeled off a little bit, but it's time to understand the paper patterns. It's time to understand the true fruit. Starting off with CUET, it has 5 papers and 3 sections. Let's get into it. Section 1 is the language section. A lot of colleges mandate English, so most of the aspirants just take English as their language for Section 1. Section 2 is the domain subject section. So there's a total of 23 subjects across humanities, science and commerce. Now, here's an important note. Different colleges and courses require different domain subjects as the mandatory one. We'll put a link to the Afterboards website, which shows a very good demonstration of which courses require which subjects. Coming to Section 3, also known as the General Test or GT, it has basic quants. Now, don't worry, nothing from 11th or 12th, just basic 10th and lower maths, as well as GK, current affairs and logical reasoning. Now, coming to the IPMATs, there's 3 main IPMAT exams. One is IPMAT Indore, then there's JIPMAT for Jammu and Bodh Gaya, and then there's IPMAT Rohtak, which you guessed it is for IM Rohtak. We'll put up the patterns for these 3 on screen, but basically there's a quant section, there's a logical reasoning and data interpretation section, and there's also a VA or verbal ability section. So it seems like Ajay Devgan was right all along, because doing these 2 things side by side is actually more beneficial, because the syllabus and the paper pattern for IPMAT and CUET is not that different. And let's face it, getting into a top IM or a top DU right after 12th doesn't seem like a bad option. There's a method to this madness though. There's a strategy for doing IPMAT and CUET at the same time. Let's talk about it. If you're preparing for IPMATs, then honestly the GAT and English sections become quite easy in CUET. Although hold your horses, the exam paper cutoff is still quite high, so we would advise you to give as many mocks, solve as many questions and do as many practice papers as you possibly can. What you have to put a little bit more extra effort into would be the domain subjects and some sections of the GAT. Now, in my experience talking to some toppers who've done really well in CUET, also on a side note, if you'd like some conversations with them on our channel, please do let us know in the comments. We'll definitely make helpful videos with them on our channel. So yes, in their experience, they shared that sticking true to the NCERT syllabus and doing even the deleted topics if it's mentioned in the NTA release syllabus for CUET, and also not mugging up the theory but rather developing thumb rules or mental models on how to solve questions is what really helped them. So that involves techniques like making mind maps, making revision notes, frequently revising these revision notes, and also solving as many questions and mocks as possible, because in the exam hall under that pressure, this is what really differentiates you. Now, coming to Section 3 or the General Aptitude Test, here your focus has to be on GK and current affairs. For GK, study everything from capitals, cities, important historical figures, ministries and so on and so forth. And for current affairs, there is no single source to study any of this from, so make it a habit to read up daily. Spend anywhere from 30 minutes to 1 hour reading up on sports, international affairs, international wars or conflicts, India's own achievements or technological advancements, as well as targets in the near future. Now, the best thing about preparing GK and current affairs is that it's not just for the exam. In fact, if you're preparing for IPMAT, there will be an interview round, and this will really help you in the interview round as well. So it's literally 2 birds, 1 stone. We've put a link in the description below for all the best practices you should do in the interview. And we've also made a video talking about the best preparation strategy for IPMAT. So please do go watch that. It'll be good for anyone preparing for IPMAT 26 or even CUET for that matter. So now that everything is simplified, you can see that there really isn't much separating you and your dream college. Just 4 months of dedicated, smart preparation will get you to whichever college you want to go to. Speaking of colleges, if this video hits 300 likes, then we'll post out an entire series talking to people from different DUs as well as IIMs to figure out what their life looks like after they've cleared these exams. Also, as we get closer to the exams, we'll be putting out a lot more helpful content on this channel. So do hit that subscribe button to remain up to date with all the new updates as well as tips and tricks to solve questions. If there's any specific college or a specific course you'd like to know more about, drop that in the comments down below and we'll make a full in-depth explainer on those specific ones. Don't forget to share this video with all your fellow IPMAT as well as CUET aspirants, as I'm sure they'll find this helpful. All the very best and thank you so much for watching.